If you thought helicopters are uncontrollable and there's no way to fly simulators, you guys are wrong, man. Little bit of a background. I am a commercial helicopter pilot. I fly R-22s, R-44s, the Bell 206. I would like to start with like a hover and just see how difficult it is to hover in Flight Simulator. If you're not familiar, hovering is one of the most difficult parts for any type of helicopter pilot. It takes us many, many weeks to be able to get into a basic hover. I'm just going to talk through some of the realistic things, man, that just kind of go on with helicopter flight, and we'll just see how well this simulation simulates it. I also want to have the most realistic tongue-tied, realistic depiction of a helicopter and how it flies, right? So the very first thing we're going to do in any sense, we're going to make sure that everything is good on our control surfaces, right? So our pedals, see, pedals don't work. Let me plug them in. Sometimes they get disconnected. Pedals look good. Collective and cyclic. Cyclic's good. Collective is good. Okay. Now we're going to look to make sure that everything is good. Warning lights are out. T's and P's are in the green. This is your temperatures and your pressures. We're looking at all the gauges. Everything is in the green. Green, green, green. T's and P's are in the green. Let's go ahead and start. Wow, that's an unrestricted climb out. We're going to be doing 2 stages, right? Stage 1 is going to be getting light on the skids, and stage 2 we're going to pick it up into the hover. So without further ado, let's try attempt number 1. We're going to go eyes outside, and we're going to get into stage 1. We're going to get light on the skids. We're going to slowly creep in enough power to just get us light, and we want to stop all movement. Try to get just a little bit more power in here and see what we got. Okay, so that's pretty realistic. Nose is going to come up. It's a weight and balance thing, right? We don't have any passengers. If we did, then I would expect that a little bit more than this. This isn't super realistic. I don't think we would have ballooned up that much. But let's go ahead and keep pulling in more power. All right, that left roll, yes sir. We're going to stop that movement. Pedals still work. As we pull power, I expect us to have to push in some left pedal to stop the torque. And there we go. And what you guys are seeing is something called translating tendencies. It's the tendency of the aircraft to drift in the direction of the tail rotor thrust. Think like a big fan blowing, right? You're going to go in that direction. All right, so let's go ahead and stop this movement. A little bit of left pedal. And now that we're kind of lightening skids, we're just going to try to pick it up into the hover. And let's see how that looks. Okay, so not too bad. Let's get some left pedal. We're just going to follow this line to the runway. And yeah, let's just practice. I could, you know, depart here, but I think let's hover a little bit and see if we can master this bad boy. All right, so let's try to stop all this movement. And West Memphis traffic, helicopter 437 Delta Quebec is holding short of 3.5 for hover work. So let's go ahead and set it back down. And we're going to, all right, pickups and set downs. We're going to work on pickups and set downs. All right, eyes outside. We're just going to go through this like if you were actually training. Like, this is how I would fly if I was your instructor. I'm inside of the cockpit with you. I'm handing you the controls, man. Let's go. Eyes outside, get your reference point, and we're going to get it into stage 1. So hold, slow, creep in, slow power. All right, slowly pull in that power. Just going to creep in that throttle just a little bit. And it's not throttle, it's collective. But I'm just going to say it for general purposes to make it easier for you. But actually, no, scrap that. Collective. We're going to use the real terms. We're not fudging anything. Real terms. The collective. Pull the collective up. Now, you will hear us say power inside of the aircraft, but I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let's just go ahead. Procedures. And you're just kind of like in the cockpit with me, and we're learning, right? You can use these things to practice on your own if you really want to get into helicopters on Flight Simulator. So let's do the first part. Eyes are outside, and we're going to pick a horizontal reference point. Wow, I'm tongue-tied. Let me take a drink real quick. Maybe that'll help. Oh, that's amazing. All right. So eyes are outside. Let's slowly pull in some power. Pull in some power. Right when we get light on the skids, this aircraft is going to want to drift. 100% natural drifting to the direction of the tail rotor thrust. All right, let's see if we can get light in the skids. We're looking for those cues on this game. It's a little bit of dust outside. We can see it picking up. So we got that little bit of translating tendency. Now, as we pull more power, this aircraft is going to generate more torque. When it does, we need to apply left pedal to stop that nose from turning. So eyes outside, let's pull in some power and left pedal. There we go. Yes, sir. Left pedal, push forward just a little bit. We're going to stop all this movement right there. And once we get that movement stopped, we're just going to pull it gently into a hover. Beautiful. A little bit of left pedal and get settled. All right. I think we're settling kind of into this spot here. That's all right. We have a good reference point. Now, let's go ahead and sidestep the runway. West Memphis traffic, helicopter 437 Delta Quebec is approaching runway 35. We're going to sidestep and just do some hover work off into the grass. West Memphis traffic. All right. In real life, we would have to check all those areas. I probably should have done that. So, man, I can't. We got to go back and do that correctly. Now, we are officially holding short of runway 35. Now, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Eyes are outside. We're going to start pulling in power. We know that about 60 to 70 on that torque is going to get us into a hover. So I'm just going to go ahead and get us there to that light part. We're lighting the skids. Push forward a little bit left, and a little bit left pedal, and we're just going to pop up, pull back. We have our reference point. And West Memphis traffic, helicopter 437 Delta Quebec is holding short of runway 35, West Memphis. And we're just going to kind of come out into the runway here. And we're going to do a little check, right? We're going to turn to the left, center. Oops. We're going to go left, center, and right. And we're just going to look to make sure there's no other aircraft here, right? So there's no aircraft here on final. So we're clear. And we're just going to pick it up, and we're looking center. We got nobody on the runway, and we got nobody departing, right? So now, West Memphis traffic, helicopter 437 Delta Quebec is crossing runway 35. We're going to be doing some hover work into the grass parallel to the runway. All right, so we'll go ahead and cross right here. And all we're going to do is we're just going to kind of walk this over. We don't want to balloon up. We don't want to climb, and we're not trying to depart. So let's go ahead and sidestep the runway here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Three. All right. Let me stop. All right. So let's get into the fun part. We're going to start practicing picking it up, setting it down, and getting into this rhythm, right? This routine of getting light on the skids, getting into that hover, and making sure that there's no movement in the aircraft. We got to perfect this, man. That's the most important thing. So let's eyes outside. We're going to get a little bit quicker each time. You guys ready? Let's go. Eyes are outside. We're going to start pulling in power just enough to get light on the skids. Do you guys remember what it was? 60, 70, yeah, something around there. So let's go ahead and pull that, right? All right, boom, boom, boom. All right, so now we got 60 on the skids. Eyes are outside. We want to stop all of our movement. We're getting a little bit of that rotor wash. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So we're going to stop all of our movement, and eyes are outside. Eyes are outside now. Stop all that movement, and we're just going to get it into a gentle hover. All right. We're going to try to stay within the lines here, and I think this is how we're going to work it. We're just going to get eyes outside, and we're going to keep our reference point. Once we have our power setting set to where we're in this hover, we don't need to change it. We can kind of just leave it, right? So about right here, and we're having to be on the pedals a little bit more than in real life. Usually I'm not on the pedals as much when I'm flying. This is a little bit more pedal work. Usually when you're in ground effect, which is usually one rotor diameter from the ground, you're not getting this type of sticky pedals. This is a little bit much, especially for like a calm wind condition. But let's go ahead and try to get eyes outside, and we're going to get it back up. Let's keep a position here, and we're just going to slowly kind of hover, and we're going to try to stay in one of these lanes of grass. You guys see like this like lane? It almost looks like a little highway in front of us, right? Let's just try to stay on like one side and not cross the lane. So let's go ahead and pick this up into a hover. Nope. Come on. All right, so let's get this back into that hover. A little bit of pedal work. I'm over gripping these controls too. Let's try this again. We're going to reset. I am light on the skids here. Okay, great. Yep, I am light. So let's go ahead and pull a little bit of power to get airborne. And right there, we need some left pedal. Yes, sir. So we're just going to slowly walk this. I gotta correct here. Hold on. We're just going to walk this down this line. That's all we want to do is kind of keep it centered up on that grass. Nope, we got to slow it down. We're going way too fast. All right, so let's go ahead and Oh, this is so difficult. Okay, let's try this again. Eyes are outside. We got this. Eyes outside. I know we're tracking this. We got it. Eyes are outside. Eyes outside. Light on these skids. Don't look inside of the aircraft, bro. All right, we got it. Eyes are outside. Let's do it. Eyes outside, and we're going to get light on those skids, get that power in. Once I get to my 60, then I go back to eyes outside. Perfect. We're lighting the skids. Push forward. Okay. Beautiful. We're expecting translating tendencies right here. And we're needing left pedal, right? Yes, we need some left pedal. All right. Eyes outside. Don't look inside. All right. That's really weird that I had to put in right pedal. That would not be realistic. That's okay. We got just enough power for this hover. And we're just going to stay right here. And we're just going to try to follow one of these lines. Let's just pick this line right here. Nope. Fail. Fail. All right, let's try it again. Eyes are outside. Get light on those skids. There it is. Pull back just a little bit. And we're going to pop up right here. All right. We're going to try to stay in this lane. So we have this lane right here. This is our highway, right? This is our road. We're just going to try to stay right in the center of this. And we don't want to speed it up. We don't want to go too slow. We don't want to go too fast. We just want to kind of walk this hover like if we're taxiing to the runway, right? So I just bounced skids, so that's a little bit too low. We can get into a little bit more of a hover, I should say. So let's get like right here, and we're just going to kind of walk this. And I am doing bad. Let's try to go back. Stay right in this lane. There we go. Stay right in that lane. And we're just going to walk it down. We don't want to depart. Nope. Let's set it back down. Fail. Let's try it again. All right. Eyes are outside. Let's get light in the skids. Eyes are outside. Eyes are outside. Light in the skids. 60 on those RPMs. Let's get up there. Eyes are outside. We're lighting the skids. We're going to push forward. Expect a little bit of left pedal as we pick it up here. And boom. Let's get up into that hover. Perfect hover. Let's go ahead and keep that momentum. So this is just kind of that hover. If we were hovering into position on the runway, right? If we wanted to get lined up onto the runway, we're ready to go. This would kind of be our hover. This is a little bit fast for me. Even at 10 knots, that's a little bit too fast for a hover. Usually I keep it kind of gentle, nothing too crazy. But let's go ahead and clear the runway again. Let's make sure that everything is good. All right, so let's see. We're going to pick it up just a little bit because I don't want to dynamic roll it over. All right, so our right side is clear. It looks like our center is clear. Right, we got nothing. And do we have anything on this left? Nope, we got this guy at like 35,000 feet. Not even too worried about that. So we're going to try this again. We're going to slow it down. These are different techniques and drills that you could do to kind of master and perfect flying. Now, if you're really into like the nerdy details like me, then I can get into like specifics. And here's a fun fact for you. This is crazy. Y'all ready for this? In ground effect means that you're within one rotor diameter from the ground. If your rotors are 30 feet long and you're at 30 feet, you're technically it's estimated in ground effect, right? And that's almost like you're sitting on a ball of air, this cushion. Think about being like on what are those things called? Why am I having a brain fart? A beach ball in a swimming pool. If it's sitting on top of the water and you're standing on it, right? It's like a balancing act, and that's what you're doing in a hover when you're in ground effect. Different surfaces can actually interfere with that in ground effect, and it's something to think about. If it's super dry outside, you don't want to be picking it up and setting it down like in a field because your engine can actually set something on fire. And that happened to us. We got into a hover and we're like, man, something smells like really weird. I'm like, something smells really weird, man. It's like fire or something. I can't tell what it is. It turns out we were actually setting the grass on fire. It was not a good look for us. So be very careful if you're doing stuff like that. But we're going to try to work on heading. So if we're doing pickups and set downs, right? Most importantly is you don't want the aircraft to go nose left or nose right. So hovering and picking up and setting down kind of go hand in hand. That's why for this part, I'd like to talk about both, right? So what you want to do is make sure that that nose isn't turning left or right whenever you set it down, right? Going forward or backward is okay. You do not want to go down onto the runway when that aircraft is swaying like this because you can catch a skid and that's how you get a dynamic rollover. We're going to slowly pull power. I'm expecting a left input. pick it up and just kind of move it over to the center line here. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. And we're going to try to stop that movement. It should be right about here. Yep. And we're going to go eyes outside, stop that movement, and we're going to get up in the air. Boop, right there. And we're going to get back to the center line. We're going to try to stop all the movement right here. We want to stop everything before we set it down. I used to hate setting it down because I always feel like I can never get it right. So this is super realistic for how it feels in real life. All right, so right here, let's get left pedal. And right when you get that in-ground effect, the aircraft starts to behave differently, so you got to be ready for that too. So my set down is horrible. Let's try this again. Right there, let's just set it down. Oh, dude, this literally reminds me so much of like flying in real life, bro. Like it really does, because it's just so difficult to get it right. Everything is good. West Memphis traffic helicopter 437 Delta Quebec is still on runway 35 hover practice. All right, let's try this again. Eyes are outside, and we're gonna pull power, get light in those skids. Let's get light in those skids. Eyes are outside. Eyes are outside. Stop that movement. Stop it, and then we're gonna pop up. Boop. Now, that's a lot better. Now we got to come in and set it back down. Let's get back to the center line, and we're gonna get centered up right here. Slow, small inputs. That's horrible. Small inputs right here, and we're just gonna slowly drift it forward, and we're gonna slow it down, and we're gonna set it back down. Okay, we're gonna do a pickup. This time we're gonna pick it up and we're gonna sit back into the same spot that we picked it up at. So let's try to find a place real quick in the airport. I think the whole all right, so I'm just having fun. That was kind of a little rolling landing, or a running landing, sorry. I would assume a rolling landing would probably be the end of your life, dude. A rolling landing sounds horrible in helicopters, right? This is where we start taking your skills and you're just putting it to the next level, right? We're gonna slowly fine tune it. This is kind of the premise of it. A private pilot license just means that you can pick the aircraft up and return it safely. Private pilot says, can you land on the runway safely? Check, you're a good pilot, right? When you pick your spot as a commercial pilot, you're saying, I'm gonna land on the threshold markers, you better land on it. There's a very small margin of error. It's very, very, very important. If you say I'm putting the right skid on the number 3, you better do it. That is commercial pilot. So we're gonna slowly take our private pilot feeling, because I don't feel very confident in the simulator yet. I've only had a couple of hovers, and we're gonna take this hover and we're gonna minimize it and make it into a pinpoint precision.
We're about to master it.
Eyes are outside, pedals still work, T's and P's are in the green. Warning lights are out. West Memphis traffic helicopter 7 Delta Quebec is sidestepping runway 35. So, you guys see that that taxiway light? What we can do is we're going to try to pick it up and set it back down and try to make sure that we are at least at some point kind of parallel to that light. All right. Yeah. All right. Beautiful. Dude, I'm stokey. We got this. When people usually ask me about how it is to be a helicopter pilot, I always let them know that it has its ups and downs. We're on that cyclic, and we're just gonna pop up right there. Boop, beautiful. Let's get centered back onto this center line, and we're just gonna set it back down. Stop that movement. And we're just going to set it back down, a little bit of left pedal and left cyclic. That was horrible. All right, beautiful. So we're going to pick it back up into a hover. So eyes are outside. We're going to get light in the skids. A 2-stage pickup, so everything works. Control surfaces work. Pedals, collective cyclic. Eyes are outside. Eyes are outside. We're going to pull power, get into about 60 RPM to get light on those skids. Eyes are outside. Eyes are outside. And slowly pull in that power. We're getting light in the skids. We're going to counter that translational tendency right there. Left pedal when we pull power, and we're going to get to this hover. Once we get stationary in the hover, we're gonna do our pirouette. So we're gonna do left pedal. We're gonna keep this forward movement. So left pedal right there, we're gonna have to keep pulling backwards as we go here. Once we pedal, there we go. And pedal over, and right pedal to stop. Overshot the pirouette. It's very like disheartening and discouraging when you've been hovering for 15, 16, 17, 18 hours and you still can't hover, right? And I think that frustrates a lot of guys. Now, I'm not saying that it should take you 15, 20 hours, whatever, that's an exaggeration, but you're still putting hour in after hour to just not be able to control this aircraft and what you thought was really basic. So we're going to go ahead and sidestep the runway again, because I don't know what this guy's doing. So West Memphis traffic, helicopter 7 Delta Quebec, parallel taxiway 35, going to be sidestepping to the ramp. We'll go back over to this ramp and we'll set it down. We'll call it a day on this video, but I really, really, truly hope that you guys will stick around for more, because we're going to be getting into like the nitty gritty, and I will make you guys amazing helicopter pilots on Flight Simulator. If you thought that helicopters are uncontrollable and there's no way to fly on simulators, you guys are wrong, man. It's there. It's just really difficult. I'm going to go ahead and call it for this video. Thank you all for sticking around. I appreciate you. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever you do on YouTube. Share it with your friends.
All right, whatever.
I'm out. Later, y'all.